And Hazel, what does Hazel call Sparrow?
Their baby sibling.
Their baby, so she literally says, good morning, baby sibling.
Well, usually by name, like good morning, Sparrow, but when someone asks, you know, who is that, you say my baby sibling, yeah.
And does Hazel call Sparrow they?
Yes.
They. So she says, they, can I play a game with you? They.
Well, not when talking to them. You know, when talking to them, they would say you,
So
like,
confusing.
would you like to share a cookie with me, Sparrow? And Sparrow would, of course, because they're a baby.
But if I'm in the room and I want to have a cookie and I ask Hazel, can I have a cookie? And she says yes, I'll just ask they, right? Sparrow. Is that how it works?
Ask them.
Ask them.
Yeah, you would say, so Hazel might say, I'll ask them if they want to share.
Here's what I don't get though, because they and them are plural words, and I've always struggled with this. I don't understand why in this non-binary world you would take a plural word like them
I've always
or they
wanted this as well.
to describe a singular entity. It doesn't make any. I'm a grammatical purist. I don't really understand from a grammatical point of view why you would call people by plural.
Okay, I'm going to tell you guys why, and this is going to make some of you mad. I already know some of you are going to be mad at this. The reason why it's plural is because it's spirits. Notice what Piers Morgan said. This guy's not a Christian. He said, why would you use a plural word to describe a single entity? And the reason being is because there's not a single entity. These are spirits. Spirits, personality spirits. Making them think they have multiple personalities and they're this gender. It's called the spirit of confusion. It's like when Jesus came to cast out the demon of man at the tombs, and he said that for there are many, for we are many. He used the pronoun we because he was speaking of all the spirits that were living on the inside of him, all the other demonic spirits there. This is a spirit of confusion, and there's freedom. And we are selling them short, the world, by not offering them freedom. Have I seen homosexuals get delivered? Absolutely. There's tons of testimonies. You go on TikTok, you go in the comment section down below, and you're going to see tons of people that were homosexual that got delivered and now are married with children. Now it's confusion. It's a spirit that confuses you about gender. And the sad part is, these kids are innocent. They're born into this, and this door gets open because they don't have a choice. They don't have a choice. I know it's bold to say, guys, but listen, I'm not going to let Piers Morgan be bolder than me. He's just hitting it right on the head there, saying, like, aren't you exhausted by all this language? It's just, it's plural because it's spirits.
They actually has a history of being used as a singular pronoun as well as a plural pronoun.
No, it doesn't.
Back, hundreds of years ago, 1400s.
No, it doesn't. Never been used.
Yeah, in usage, they just have a plural pronoun. We are just working within the limited framework of the pronouns available to us in English. There are people who use invented pronouns, but those sometimes can be difficult for people to navigate.
Ari, I wonder whether when, because it's complicated for an adult like me to get my head around. I'm doing my absolute best to ease to an understanding of that, because it's,
You can tell she's quite mediated.
when it comes to children, because, if you've got a...
This should be illegal, really though, guys. To tell your kids what they are.
growing up, it must be difficult for them to try and express that to other adults who don't understand it, or who don't understand it. And when other adults say it, how does a small child explain that?
That's a great question. Hazel is very confident, very verbose, and very well spoken, and they enjoy advocating for the visibility of their family, and they enjoy
Take this so slow. Just say it all at work.
Obviously, I've never forced them into a spotlight, and I've never told them that they can always choose to disengage when they don't want to over-explain themselves. But to them, it's pretty simple to say, oh, we don't know Sparrow's gender yet. They're going to tell us when they're older. Right now, we use they them pronouns.
What happens if Sparrow decides? How old is Sparrow? She's 4. They is 4.
Sparrow is 1 year old.
Sparrow. I'm sorry. Hazel is 4, and Sparrow is 1.
Hazel's 8.
Okay.
Hazel changed their
Hazel has
gender
been
at 4.
non-binary for 4
Hazel
years.
changed her gender at 4, but is now 8, and Sparrow is 1.
Yeah.
Chose her
What
gender at
happens
4.
if Hazel decides tomorrow she would now like to be a girl or a boy? I don't.
Well, then I would support that. Hazel, is totally allowed to continue to explore their gender and have it evolve. Gender isn't always a static thing for some people.
And what is Sparrow?
Being
what is
non-binary
Sparrow?
and using they, them is what they want right now.
Okay, and if Sparrow, when she gets to say 3 or even 2, when they can first start to talk, if her first words are, I want to be non-binary, or I want to be a boy, or I want to be a girl, would you just respect anything that a 2-year-old child would say? You accepted a 4-year-old's insistence on changing gender. Would you accept a 2-year-old?
I would accept that child was exploring. I think that at that age, gender
Ari, a child of 2 is
not
in
set
no.
in
I'm
stone.
sorry
No.
to be the stick in the mud here. A 2-year-old
His
kid
co-host is like-
hasn't got a Scooby-Doo about any of this stuff. The idea that you would
exactly.
literally, the idea that you
Scooby-Doo's a
would
great
even,
thing. If my
the
kid
idea
said
that
that they
you as
wanted
a
to pretend to
parent,
be
I'm
Scooby-Doo,
sorry,
I
but
would play along.
let me just-
I'd follow the child.
The idea that you as a parent would even countenance the idea that a 2-year-old child has any ability to form any serious perception of gender, I think, frankly, I put it to you respectfully, is utterly ridiculous and actually damaging to that child.
Well, then in that
That's
case,
bold.
if a 2-year-old child, as you say, genuinely
live
has
television.
no ability to conceptualize gender, isn't it toxic and bizarre that at 2, we are telling someone, you are a boy because of your anatomy? If that 2-year-old genuinely can't conceptualize
it's
what
normal.
a boy is.
It's what we've been doing for thousands of
Doesn't it
years.
make more sense that if a 2-year-old genuinely has no ability to process what a gender is, as you said, that I don't, tell them what their gender is, and I don't emphasize gender constantly. I let them be what they are, which is a toddler.
Say you offer structure, what could be more of a structure than actually saying to your child, this is your name and that's your name? And if when you get to be an adult, you want to change your name, then you become your own adult, your own responsibility, you take your own decisions. Part of being a parent is until a child reaches adult age, actually the parent takes these decisions. What are you
That's
doing as a
reasonable,
parent?
but I guess
as a parent, you're
my
saying just get on
opinion
with it.
is that I feel that what you're expressing is a bit of childism, which is assuming that someone has to be a legal adult to have the
Childism.
capacity to know themselves.
Childism is a
And
new
I
one.
think
All
a
right.
child
I've heard
that
just
can
about-
explore identity.
All right, Ari, I've heard just about every ism imaginable.
You've been
I've never
accused of
heard.
every ism, to
I've
be
been
honest.
accused of every ism, and I'm struggling with this new world of isms. Right? What is childism?
You're against children making their own decisions.
I believe that, childism is the normalization of the mistreatment of children just because they're young. Assuming that they
What?
can't
Hello?
have opinions or ideas, that they
That's
can't.
what you're
obviously,
doing.
they do need guidance and structure, but
What is happening?
mistreating them or treating them like property or denying their identity and autonomy.
So giving a child a gender because of its anatomy,
It's childism
assuming
now.
that they're boy or girl, or giving them a name, all that would be childism from your point of view.
Not giving them, but forcing them to use them regardless of what the child wanted.
So if a
Potentially,
3-year-old
yes.
child decides, I'm no longer a boy or girl, I'm no longer going to be called Bob, I want to be called Doris, whatever it may be, if a 3-year-old child decides to do that, and I object and say, no, your name is Bob, not Doris, and you're a boy, not a girl, at 3, then I'm guilty of childism.
Potentially, yes.
Okay, hold on. I'm not gonna play that video. Hello? My head is spinning as well. Now listen, Piers Morgan hit the nail on the head on so many of these points, but this is mind-numbing to me. And this is the way that the world is going. And again, like he said, do what you want to do, be what you want to be, but don't expect culture and humanity and society to have to adopt these terms and to evolve into this. And this is where we're heading, guys. We're heading into where now we're bigots, now we're haters, now we're this because we don't call a certain pronoun or a certain gender. Listen, I'm not doing it. There's no such thing as a they be. The baby's born, it's male or female. Let me just give you one verse. I could give you so many, but I'm just going to give you one here. Genesis chapter 1, verse 27. It's easy to get to. It's in the very beginning of your Bible. It's the first chapter. It's where God lays it all out. Are you ready for this? So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. So in your Bible, beginning of creation, God creates male and God creates female. That's it. There's no second gender. There's no thee, they, them, her, she, what, why. It's male and female. When a baby's born, the baby's born either male or female. So this whole gender thing and this whole fluid thing,